The traitors of Hunyadi at the Battle of Kosovo. The Second Battle of Kosovo in 1448, fought between the Hungarian-led crusader army and the Ottoman Empire, was one of the most significant battles in the life of John Hunyyadi. This battle was the last chance to expel the Ottomans from the Balkans and liberate its peoples. In the three-day epic battle, the Ottoman army, led by Sultan Murad II, defeated the crusader forces commanded by John Hunyyadi, the governor of Hungary. The Hungarian general, Hunyadi, lost because the Romanians shamefully betrayed him and switched to the Ottoman side on the battlefield on the third day of the battle. This Ottoman victory also led to the eventual capture of Constantinople in 1453. The contemporary Byzantine historian, Leonikos Chalkokondyles, who lived between 1430 and 1470, describes the Romanian betrayal at the Battle of Kosovo in his 10-volume work The Histories. As for the Hungarians, when they first saw the Wallachians detaching themselves, they wondered about their intentions. But when they realized that they were negotiating with the Sultan, they were angry with them and hated them for utterly betraying their allies. But when a little bit later they saw them all being killed by the Sultan for no apparent reason, they were astonished again and understood the Sultan's thinking, namely that he had no need for such allies. Quotation from the multi-volume Cambridge Medieval History book. On the second the struggle was the fiercest, but the brave Hungarians were powerless to break through the line of the Janissaries. On the third day, the Wallachs turned traitors, obtained terms from Murad, and passed over to his side. The Germans and the band of Bohemians held their ground, but the battle was lost. 8,000, including the flower of the Hungarian nobility, were said to have been left dead on the field. During the fight 40,000 Turks had fallen. Quotation from the monumental work The Military History of the Hungarian Nation. At this decisive moment, Dan, although neither he nor his troops were attacked by the Turks, neither from the front nor from the rear, worried solely about saving his country, sacrificing the public good for his personal benefit, and intending to make the unstable loyalty of the Vlachs felt by the Hungarians for the second time, he enters into negotiations with the Grand Vizier Chalil. And after receiving a promise of mercy and reward from him, in the name of the Sultan, he leaves the battlefield, thus leaving behind an unrecoverable, gaping hole in the battle line. A quotation from an American historian's book The Byzantine State and Society. The Hungarian regent reached Kosovo with his Wallachian allies, but the Sultan arrived there before Skanderberg did. When the Wallachians deserted, Hunyadi found himself outnumbered. A quotation from the historical book Europe and the Islamic World, written by American historians. Murad again had to confront Hunyadi, who was seeking to take revenge at the head of a Hungarian Wallachian army, in a second battle of Kosovo. Although inferior in firearms, which resulted in great losses, the Ottoman army was superior in numbers, especially since the Wallachian contingent deserted and ultimately forced Hunyadi to flee. A quotation from an Austrian historian's extensive work The History of the Kingdom of Hungary. Thus, Hunyadi had to fight on two fronts. Although he succeeded in putting most of the Asian troops to flight, he was unable to pursue them effectively. The greatest misfortune was that, at this critical moment, Dan and his son, along with the Wallachians, who had been lured by promises of mercy from the Turks, defected to the Ottoman side. A quotation from the book The Military History of the Ottoman Empire, written by a Turkish historian and an American colonel historian. Hunyadi tried his chances and attacked. The concealed wings of the Ottoman army encircled the attackers, and the Wallachians changed sides at this crucial moment. Most of the Christians were annihilated. The Second Battle of Kosovo convinced the Europeans of the invincibility of Ottoman military might and of the impossibility of recapturing the Balkans. From now on all their efforts would focus on checking the Ottoman advance into Central Europe. The Battle of Kosovo of 1448 was also a turning point for the Ottoman military. A quotation from the Hutchinson Dictionary of Ancient and Medieval Warfare regarding the battle. Hunyadi's German handgunners fought well in the center, but when their ammunition ran out and the Wallachians deserted, the Christians were overwhelmed by the combination of Janissary foot soldiers and Timeriot cavalry on the wings. The Battle of Kosovo, fought 17 to 19 October 1448 in Serbia between the Ottoman Sultan Murad II and the Hungarian regent John Hunyyadi, resulting in the loss of Constantinople, modern Istanbul, to the Turks in 1453.